It's your boy. I am just up doing some late night art before I go crash. It was Saturday today. Worked at the shop for most of the day and then came home, and now I'm knocking out this painting, adding some details to it before I start letting it go take off too heavy in a different direction. I'm gonna kind of tie in some fucking texture and some detail, you know what I mean? It's crazy how just seeing just a little bit of black in the piece can make it like instantly have so much more depth. Like, look at that compared to that. You can see it start taking on the shape and just the realism, you know what I mean? But also I don't want it to feel too realistic, so I want to have this edge of like texture and splashiness to it. So that even this is still kind of like a painterly brush tip. I don't know why it's not letting me focus in on it, but either way. This is all just watercolored, like traditional pan watercolor. And that's like the fucking $9 kit from Michael's or whatever. If you guys got any questions, feel free to, jump out with some of them. I kind of usually give myself like a sketch, like a pre-sketch, just so I know like the shape I want it to have. And then I'll do all my little designs and vibes to it without, it's all freehand, but like, you kind of give yourself like, what do you call it? Like, not like a size perimeter, but like a, God bless it. What's the word I'm looking for? Like when you're painting like graffiti or whatever, when you're tagging graffiti, you want to know the size of your letters so you don't end up running out of room for some of your letters, which, my God, if you ever painted graffiti, you know that shit happens every fucking time. So, like approximate sizes. What is the word I'm looking for? Like if you've got to divide. So if this was graffiti and I had like 8 letters in it and I knew I had from here to do my word or whatever, I would divide it between 8 mentally, and then I would do like a little sketch of just like the most generic version of the letter, just so I didn't get to the end and have like 3 letters but only room for 2 or 1 of them. So with this, even though I've got my little pre-sketch on here, it is only there strictly just to give me like a size approximation. I cannot think of the damn word when you're trying to make something be size, allocate the size. This is gonna drive me bananas. I don't know, how do you guys get over not being able to have music on when you're on live? That part is definitely kind of holding me back a little bit right now. I'd love to have some music on, and I want to interact with you guys. So if you guys get any questions for me or you got anything you want to talk about, I'm here for it. Hi, baby. Come here. Oh, I love you too, little mama. She's funny. She'll sit there and start yelling at me. She'll be like, hello, hello. It's funny. Hello. I told you. Hello. What up? So even though I'm doing this on here doesn't mean that I won't still then go back in with my paintbrush and kind of build off of what I'm doing. I'm really just giving myself like structure and texture and shit. But when you do mixed medium, there's really no way to say anything's right or wrong. You just do whatever the fuck you want, man. It's just art. Life is too short to be worried about being too premeditated, you know what I mean? So then I'll take this. Actually, before I put that down, I'm gonna go through here and still get my little textures in on the eye. What is it, babies? What is it, baby? What is it, little mama? Oh, yes. Hello. Oh, what's poppin'? Oh, yeah, you love me, don't you? I love you back. Am I zoomed in too close, or you guys, you like where it's at on here? Should I move back? Hi, baby. I guess this is not really as much of a how-to video because I'm obviously just kind of going through it without explaining much. But honestly, man, I do watercolor in abstract style so often that I don't really have to think about it. I just kind of create it out of my head. But I'll try to like map out textures and conceptuals, and then that way when I go through my watercolor and I paint over all of it, I'm kind of like giving myself the freedom to kind of fuck it up a little bit without worrying about losing my actual shape or my design. You know what I mean? But there's no fucking rules, man. It's art. Like, nobody can tell you did it wrong or that you did it right. So just have fun with it, man. And if they ask too many questions, tell them fuck off. You know what I'm saying? But I will definitely try to like have my like lights and darks where they need to be to make it feel accurate. So even if I'm doing abstract, I still want it to have like actual light source. You know what I mean? So if it needs to be really dark right here to set that depth, I will make sure to have it dark so that even if my colors are wild and my textures are strange, I'll still have my darks and lights where they need to be. So my contrast produces the dynamic image from far away. I want you to definitely be able to like recognize what you're looking at from across the room. The cool part also is if you're using a pen like this felt tip one, and then you go through with like a water brush and watercolor, it will not only help blur the tones and values, but like it'll just make it more dynamic, more believable. So put this back in here, and I will take this. I've already wetted up my little stuff. So let's go in with some gray. Where do I want the gray at? Let's see. Before I do it, I'm going to kind of get a vibe for how dramatic this gray is. If you're not familiar with water brushes, they're amazing. If you just give it a little squeeze and put some water on here. Let's not put in too much water, though. I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I want more water than that. So I've got a spray bottle here. Kind of guide it a little bit. And then I will go through and maybe even, here, I'm going to unplug my phone so I can have a little bit more access. And then I will, this is a greenish tone. If you squeeze it, so there's water in it, so if you squeeze it, there we go. It lets some of the water out. So then I'll go up here and I'll say, all right, give varying, like squeezes, so it has different texture and different pressure on it. I always tape it down first so that I can be as fast moving or, in the moment as I want to be. My cat's going to try to eat my cord, so I'm trying to get that shit out of the way. Hi, baby. All right, and then let's see, I got a couple different ones. So another trick is you can keep one of these for light and one of them for dark. So like right now, if I want to go in with some pinks, then I can go through here, make sure I've got some like water dripped out, go through here. And then another trick with watercolor is to have like a little spritz bottle, little spray bottle, and it just be consistently like going back and forth between wetting it up and how wet your canvas is, how wet just all of it is. My cats are funny. Hello? There's nobody in the TV, baby. Who are you yelling for? What is it? Hello? What's poppin', slime? What's poppin'? No, don't do it. Don't you do it. No, baby, don't do it. Back up. Back up. She'll try to jump up there and knock my whole fucking setup down. She's a heavy little motherfucker. She said, what the fuck did you say about me? I love watching watercolor come to life, man. This is such, it's like a visual symphony. Oh, you agree, huh? I don't know if I had different equipment, I'd probably be able to just go ham. But honestly, I'm comfortable with these brushes, and they're kind of fun. I know that sometimes they die on you, or they don't give you the texture as consistently as you want, but that's just what it is, man. It's just fucking art. Like, have fun. Blur your shit out. paint over it, draw on top of it. Like, who gives a fuck, man? You could die tomorrow. Make whatever the fuck your heart wants you to. Don't even question it. You know what I mean? All right, let's see where else. Try not to have too much rhyme or reason for why I pick whatever color I put somewhere, or even the texture that I put down with it. Just do whatever feels right. It's like the more you find yourself defending why you did something, the more you should say fuck it and do something different. You know what I mean? Shoot. My cat's over there mean mugging for no reason. She's funny. I love how that looks. That like magenta, mulberry. It's a little bit lighter than that, but who knows? There's something fun about doing it like quickly and not getting too attached to it and kind of watching it evolve as you go. It's a little bit more dark than I wanted, so I'll probably paint some white over that to make it soften up a bit. Or I may have just fucked it all up. Who knows? Oh, dear God. That's so funny. Art is subjective, man. You just do whatever the hell comes to your mind, and if you change your mind, then paint on top of it. You know what I mean? That's one of the biggest benefits of watercolor, is that it's so malleable that you can change it in real time, and it doesn't look unintentional. And even if it does, do whatever the fuck you want, man. But the other thing is, I make a lot of my art without the intention of selling it, and I make this art, since when I'm at work, I'm making art for other people, and the pressure is on. When I come home to paint, I paint for myself, and I have fun with it. So I don't let myself get too wrapped up in what people might think about it. If I'm not happy with it, then you'll never see it. But if I am happy with it, then I'll sell like prints of it, or, I'll put it on some kind of, maybe I'll make a t-shirt out of it or something. I don't know. Just kind of go with the flow. I'm trying to overthink this art, because I have to overthink tattooing. You know what I mean? It's such a dramatic thing that painting ends up becoming like this escape times 10. You feel me? Tattooing is an escape from like the pressures and weirdnesses of life. Like, I can go there and be with my client, be in their life for the day. But artistically, I have to be very accountable for everything I do. Here, I can do whatever the fuck I want and then make it come to life. And then the cool part is, when I share this process with my clients, then they want tattoos that resemble my paintings. And then it's like I'm getting paid to have fun and do fun shit that feels good to me in real time. You feel me? Okay. It's starting to have a little life to it. Okay. All right here, and then it's got to go like that. Go like that. This is needing some teals and some abstract vibes. Definitely need more water out. Oh, here's that. So I'll just pour out. I'm super messy when I paint. I don't give a fuck. Can you tell? I don't always give away this much of the process, but man, once again, who cares? See the colors just changing as you do it. I wonder what Bob Ross would say. All right, let's see. It says, welcome to live chat. So I don't know how to make this a live chat, or if it already is and I'm just not hip to it. But if anybody wants to talk, I'm more than ready to talk. I love abstract watercolor, man. It's so forgiving and fun. Another trick or tip is that after you get this thing looking how you want it to, or if you want to soften it or do anything different to it, you can go back in with like white acrylic or white gouache, and then go in and like smooth stuff out or carve out textures or fucking whatever you want, man. Depends on what you're lacking. You know what I mean? If you look at the piece and you're like, man, it feels like it needs this or this. I know when I'm doing abstract, that's probably kind of confusing to some people, but it's supposed to be, man. It's fucking art. All art shouldn't be super self-explained, you know? Like, you should be wondering, like, what the fuck was he thinking when he did this part or this part? That's how I look at it. And I want my tattoos to feel like that sometimes, too, because they usually have to be so meticulous and perfect that sometimes it's fun just doing whatever the fuck you want. I always keep markers on deck so I can go through and match some of my colors with the markers and have a little bit more control, because with markers, you see how just putting that little shadow over that gave it such a different energy. So with markers, I can go through and do some wild shit that I can't do with a paintbrush, or if I did, it would just take way longer, and there's so much more control you can have over it, and sometimes that control really helps you in the blending of tones and values and shit. I'm excited to see how this turns out. That's another cool part about art, man. Like, when you're the one making it, that doesn't mean you don't still get to witness it come to life, like you weren't the one that made it. Anybody want this when I get done with it? I should make some kind of interactive thing where whoever interacts with me the most gets to have the painting, man. Any questions or anything? Like, how can I see if you guys are having questions? I guess I can't, or I guess you're not. Either way, no worries. I don't need any interaction. I'm obviously talking to my fucking self while I'm sitting here, so who cares? But I definitely got to figure out how to put music on, because sometimes when you have music on, it'll like mess up your channel, or they'll act like you're trying to get away with something, and I'm definitely not trying to create on here all late at night like this. It's like 7 in the morning my time, and I've been awake since yesterday. So I'm not trying to be on here creating and sharing good energy with you guys just to end up having them, you know, flag my account for some shit. Ooh, I like how just that little bit of shadow right there gave it a more aggressive energy. You guys got any good plans for today or what? It was warm yesterday here. I'm in Indianapolis, which is in the middle of the Midwest. It's a weird weather we have here, where some days, I like how it changed colors right there, where some days it's like it'll be 70 degrees outside, and the next day it'll be like 40 degrees outside. There's really no rhyme or reason to our fucking weather scenario. I don't like how like warm this piece is right here, so I'm gonna definitely cool it up a bit. So let's see how I can do that. I've got a really weird green right here. Where could I use a really dark value? So there's part of my process right there. Looking for where to put that value kind of tells me where I need darks and lights. So I'm sure when you look at it, you're like, how the fuck did you think to do this or this or this? I just basically place my darks and lights wherever I feel like they need them. And then just a layering process. And then another trick is just knowing when to stop layering. All right, I'm switching back to a different paintbrush. Starting to have a little bit more height, more life. I'm not in love with this thing yet. I'm hoping that I start being very quickly. All right, here I'm about to pull a variable right quick and come over here. So I grab this and this and this and this. Oh, one-handed shouty over here. All right. All right, so you can use it like the little brush or swivel chisel tip. Sometimes if you go on top of wet, though, it'll blend cool, and other times it'll fuck up your marker, so you kind of got to be prepared to fuck your shit up. Oh, shit. I know you see that shit starting to have cool little textures and shit. And you can see the color changing as I'm going. Having a hard time understanding how this texture is working on here. Plus if you can see, it's got my papers kind of like popping up like that, so it's kind of hard. But this is canvas paper. A lot of times I'll have a lot of luck taping canvas paper down and then treating it like it's a regular canvas, but I can get a different texture out of it if I don't put it on a regular canvas. But I have so much canvas around here, it's not like it benefits me or any other way to not use a regular canvas. It's just a little bit faster for me to get to my process like this. All right, so I need to put that back down. And then on this one, I'm gonna open up the pen tip and not the chisel because that shit sucked. All right, let's see. Right here. Okay, it's trying to have a little bit of different vibes to it. Let's see. You see, I'm just kind of building up layers. I'm sure it still looks very confusing right now, but I don't lose sight of that. No, kitty. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Nope, you got to back up, baby. Sorry, little mama. All right, I definitely need to add some white in here, but this is getting fun. All right, you guys, I'm going to add some layers, and I will jump back on later on and show you how I save this, because I see it's starting to look pretty blurry. All right, I appreciate you guys so much, man. Much love, and wish me luck on this piece. It's getting a little fucking confusing, but wish me luck, and I will jump back on here in a little while and show you what I do to save the day. All right, it's your boy. Subscribe if you don't mind, man. I will make sure to put all kinds of fun stuff on here for you guys. And if you have any ideas or want me to create anything to show you anything, I'm more than happy to. So just let me know. Have a good day.